Donald Trump does not deserve full credit for the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. He is pretending as if this deal was his accomplishment and his accomplishment alone, and that's far from the truth, especially when the way that we should be judging this agreement isn't on the fact that it has happened, but how long it holds for. And the world won't really know peace in the Middle East until both Donald Trump and Netanyahu are out of office. But Donald Trump wants you to think this was all him, that he's the deal maker. But today, he made it pretty clear just how little he actually knows about the deal and was humiliated by a world leader while he was trying to pretend like he did. We are going to get into it all and the kind of disaster performance that Trump has put on today. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into how Donald Trump was humiliated by a world leader, I want to start with him humiliating himself, getting mad that Marco Rubio said this.
It's about restoring Gaza. It is about transforming the region. So we have an incredible partner, a long alliance, very capable partner here, and a tremendous collection of leaders. This is clearly, in my mind, I think in the mind of everyone in this room, probably one of the most important days for world peace in 50 years. And that's not an exaggeration.
Only 50?
Maybe 100. Certainly since the end of World War II, Mr. President.
Yeah, I don't really think that Donald Trump is a student of history. I don't think Donald Trump is a student of anything. Donald Trump didn't take Donald Trump's SATs, so yeah, history is certainly not an area of expertise for him, but this is all that Trump cares about. Not a word has been said about the release of hostages, the reuniting of families, putting an end, hopefully, to the suffering that the Palestinian people have felt as a genocide has been carried out against them. And let's keep in mind that there are still members of the Netanyahu coalition government, including Netanyahu himself, who want to continue this apartheid. But Donald Trump hasn't cared. Donald Trump has only talked about how great that Donald Trump is. It's all about him and praising anyone who will praise him. He's just so outside the details. That was clear when he was asked about Qatar.
They were very brave, and their leader, the Emir, was very, very brave. And Qatar should start getting some credit. And you have to understand, they lived in the middle of everything. So they can't just be like, you couldn't do it, I could, nobody could do it. You say what?
Have they changed their behavior from 2017 when you accused them of funding terrorism?
I don't know. In 2017, I didn't really know them very well. You know, 2017, that was at the very beginning of my term. As I got to know them, I got to understand them, and I got to realize that they are right in the middle of everything. Other countries are there, but they're an hour and a half away, a big difference.
Yes, Donald Trump says that his perspective on Qatar has changed. Why? Because he got to know them. And the them he got to know was money and planes and gifts and praise, because that is all that it is about for Donald Trump. He has such limited understanding of American foreign policy. It's the reason I refuse to allow him to get credit for the ceasefire agreement. Do you think Donald Trump was banging out details and making calls in the middle of the night? No, he was tweeting about Adam Schiff and having his third Big Mac of the day. Trump, even in the middle of this discussion, brought up Hillary Clinton.
Doing very well. We're very proud of him because we knew each other from the beginning. The first time I met, it was in a hotel, and I was going to meet him, and then Hillary Clinton was following me. Remember Hillary Clinton? And he liked me so much, he never even got to see Hillary. He saw her for about 2 seconds. But he didn't really want to waste a lot of time. He knew what was going to happen. But that was the first time we met, and we had a very good chemistry together. And it continues till today. So I want to thank you all very much. I appreciate the way you covered this really momentous, I've never seen anything like it. The level of love, the level of respect for what it is. And it's, you know, it's peace in the Middle East and every.
This is not someone who is focused or has an understanding or is certainly meeting what is a historic moment. This is a historic moment. But it's one that Donald Trump fundamentally misunderstands, and he was humiliated because of his misunderstanding, as we can see in this article right here. Trump plunged ceasefire summit into chaos with last-minute limo invite. Donald Trump boasted that everyone that we invited came, but one major player had to turn down an invite from the U.S. president, according to Axios. Trump had quietly tried to add the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to the Egypt summit with a spur-of-the-moment limo invite, only for the plan to collapse after fierce pushback from another world leader. During a chauffeured ride from Tel Aviv's airport to the Israeli parliament in Trump's The Beast limo, the president urged Netanyahu to attend the event. Trump's offer could have transformed the gathering from a symbolic event into a marquee diplomatic moment, backing the ceasefire plan and broader normalization drive, the outlet said. Trump gave a speech celebrating the Israel-Hamas ceasefire agreement before heading off to Egypt and the scheduled high-stakes summit of regional and world leaders in Egypt. Axios reported Netanyahu had initially indicated he would go, and the U.S. president phoned Egypt's president to secure a formal invitation. However, hours later, the Israeli premier declined, thanking Trump and citing the proximity of a Jewish holiday as the reason. Yet, The Guardian had a different version of events regarding why Netanyahu was not there. It was reported that Turkey's president, who was en route in his diplomatic plane when he found out, warned that he would turn around and not participate if Netanyahu were to attend. The day's choreography was already delicate as 20 surviving Israeli hostages were freed in a ceasefire exchange. Trump touted a historic dawn in his high-profile address to Israel's parliament. Inviting Netanyahu to Egypt risked overshadowing the message and spooked key attendees, according to The Guardian. With ICC arrest warrants issued for Netanyahu over alleged war crimes in Egypt, not a member of the court, Erdogan's ultimatum highlighted how combustible his attendance would have been among Arab states that haven't normalized ties with Israel. The paper added that Netanyahu's far-right coalition allies also bristled at the optics of him appearing alongside regional leaders, intensifying pressure to withdraw, all of which prompted organizers to abort the invitation amid a mid-air diplomatic standoff, leaving the event without its most controversial guest. So you're telling me that Donald Trump was the one pulling this deal together when he doesn't even understand the optics of the appearance of Netanyahu alongside these other world leaders, where Donald Trump doesn't get the controversy that it would be? Donald Trump can't even manage the feelings of other world leaders who he claims to love and he claims loves him? No, of course not. This was not a deal that Donald Trump orchestrated, and these are not relationships, both with the world leaders themselves and the nations, that he gets. Trump is not smart enough to understand any of this and doesn't actually care to try. So I'm tired of this narrative that it's Trump's peace deal, that just because he's batshit crazy, oh, everyone will listen to what he says. That's just not the case. Donald Trump is a pretend strongman who tries to act like he's bigger than he is, and we saw that actually when he met with Macron. He's always doing that weird handshake. It's just like the grab and the jerk and the, I don't know, maybe he was like, I don't have makeup on my hand today, so everyone look at my unmade up hand. I have no bruise because I'm such a big, strong boy. Look, I can shake a hand without collapsing. I'm a great guy. Biden couldn't do that. Like, I'm surprised that's not like what was coming out of Trump's mouth. I thought that's probably what would have been in his head. But no, this is not someone who understands the finer details of foreign policy. Trump saying that this is a bigger deal than the end of World War II, it does not really reflect well upon his understanding of history, but nothing does. He is a moron who is begging for a peace prize because there is a deal that he didn't orchestrate, that he wants credit for. All the while, he is launching an actual war, his word, at home. And J.B. Pritzker called him out for it right here.
Well, you just heard a tidal wave of lies from the Vice President of the United States. It's a bit shocking, and you heard over and over again him just making things up on national television with you. there's a reason why the judge here in federal court said that the administration lacks credibility, and why even the Nobel Prize Committee chair said that the administration lacks integrity. This administration, led by a 34-time convicted felon, is threatening to jail people that are their political opponents. They're making things up to go after people. We're seeing it day in and day out. And the fact that he's made a threat against me, I'm not afraid. I'm going to stand up for the people of my state. And we've got to all stand together, because there is truly unconstitutional actions that are coming out of this administration, coming at the states and the people of the United States. And all of us, Democrats and Republicans, need to speak out about it. One thing I'd point out, you mentioned Governor Stitt, who said specifically, we shouldn't be federalizing troops in one state and sending them into another, that he would be offended if I had troops going into his state. I am offended that Greg Abbott has troops coming into my state. And even Governor Scott in Vermont has called this unconstitutional. So good news, Republicans are now calling out the Trump administration. More should do so.
As you know, President Trump called for the prosecution of James Comey. It happened. He called for the prosecution of Letitia James, and it happened. He said, you committed a crime. Are you worried the Justice Department is going to come after you?
It's true that the president says things, and sometimes he follows through on those threats, and he certainly has the power of the presidency. He does not have the power to overcome the Constitution. And so am I afraid? I am not afraid. Do I think that he could do it? He might. But as I've said before, come and get me. I mean, you're dead wrong, Mr. President and Mr. Vice President. And I will stand up for the law and the Constitution. That's what we do in the state of Illinois.
The latest federal judge has allowed troops from Texas to remain in Illinois, but said they can't be deployed in Chicago. What is the situation exactly on the ground right now?
Well, there are federalized troops that have been sent here from Texas. They are in a federal facility. They're not allowed to come onto the streets of Chicago or our suburbs or anywhere in Illinois, according to the determination of the judge. We have also troops from California, not sent by California, but rather by the president when they were deterred from Oregon. So we've got two states, other states' troops, and of course the Illinois National Guard that's been federalized and under the direction of the President of the United States. None are allowed on the streets of Chicago right now because we've won the temporary restraining order.
Donald Trump does not deserve credit, and I will not be giving it to him. And many people will disagree with that, but you know what? That's okay. He just was not present in these talks in any way that anyone can point to, because he is just so out of it. We're going to continue to make that clear on this show. You can disagree if you want, but I'm not going to give Trump credit. There will be no peace in the world until Trump and Netanyahu are out of power. I'm going to keep saying that on this show. If you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And if you want to support my work on another channel, go check out a video I made with the Bulwark this weekend. Keep on fighting. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.